Well, we are out of the wormhole of no sport, and we are back to the sport of football. So the Bears had a preseason game of all time. It is against the Browns. We're finally not playing a hard opponent in the preseason, and we kill them 34-10. It's not necessarily kill, but in the context of preseason, where usually every game is close, 34-10 is that's not great. We did allow a touchdown, which is worse than the Steelers, who only allowed the Packers to kick field goals. But I don't think the Packers care because their kicker made field goals, so they're happy enough. But yeah, the Bears just kind of came into this game hoping that they would not suck. Have a good offensive scheme and all that. I didn't really give two shits about the defense because it's the Browns. Yeah, honestly, 10 points is fucking amazing. Like, wow, you only held them to 10. You hold them to 10. Good job, you done it. The offense just needed to put up points against the Browns defense that probably has stopped caring, and well, they did 34 most so far in the preseason. Um, yeah, so that's cool. Most in preseason week 1. I can't remember if the Hall of Fame game had more, but yeah, I guess we'll go. We'll start out with the backup quarterback battle. Something that I knew coming into the season we definitely would have at least a battle of backups because I don't know, man. Bajan just did not look as convincing as Keenum did in that third quarter. I feel like Bajan was just kind of I get you really don't. You'd probably rather not have Case Keenum out there in a critical situation, but also Bajan. I mean, he's okay, but if we're looking for a backup, I feel like Case Keenum actually does fit Caleb Williams' backup pretty well. I'm not saying that Bajan is bad. He's still pretty. He would be a really good third string quarterback, but I just feel like that Case Keenum is showed a lot more in this game. It felt like he had some decent synergy. And Bajan just kind of looked a little lost. He kind of felt jittery for some reason. I don't understand what that was. Made some very interesting throws, while Keenum kind of just did okay. I don't know about Miller Moss though. He led a drive or two, did decent. It's mostly just dumping it off to guys that can actually figure out what the hell to do. Um, the one thing that I can definitely take away is that the wide receivers that we have can route run, which is a thing that that's good. You desperately need guys to route run, and all of them seem to do the job. The backups, anyway. We didn't have any starters on the offense. Got some Roush action. He played pretty well when he had to catch the ball. Also, did some okay blocking. The O line, I mean, the Browns always have a decent defense, especially on the defensive line. Now they don't have Myles Garrett anymore, but that shit happens. Yeah, it's also the preseason. He probably wouldn't have played this in this game anyway. So yeah, it did fine. It did fine enough. I'm not really gonna rate him as of now. That's a question for when they actually decide to play all the starters by preseason week 3. Yeah, and then the running backs. Uh, I don't know. It's, the pass catching ones were much better. I think Ray McLeod as a running back wide receiver combo is decent. If we really get to that, yeah. But moving on to the defense. I mean, the first half defense wasn't overly great. I mean, they got a pick off. They not pick. They got a fumble recovery off of Deshaun Watson. So that's cool, but we also allowed 10 points to him, and that saddens me that we did not get enough sacks on him because I would have done more. But hey, at least we stripped him. Anyway, but the second half they definitely did much better, shutting down Shador and then whoever else they decide to put in there. Gabriel Green, was he out there? I don't know. Maybe he was out there on the final drive. I wasn't really paying attention. Um, but they did well in shutting down Shador and them. They certainly did better than certain instances, but yeah, we knew that the Browns would not be good. That would not be good. We do have a pretty Charmin soft preseason schedule, which is funny because in previous years we have not, but we have like the Bengals, which will be a little bit tougher, but then the Titans. So that's something. Plus, this shit was at home, so you know what? It's whatever. But now we get to my biggest question. Also, shout out Beanie Bishop Jr. I don't know where we got this guy from, other than he just got cut by the Saints and then he signed here. Had 2 picks today. However, he might make the roster. He might just be shoved to the practice squad because he has a 3-game suspension he has to serve out. So I mean that'll be rough, but I'm sure we'll probably need fucking corners and safeties by week 4. So he'll fit it right in, I guess. Especially if we're gonna continue to have injuries like we did last year. Now we get to my biggest problem, and it's not Tory Taylor. Tory Taylor always has outpunted the punt coverage. I've always thought that we need better gunners as one of the bigger things because Tory Taylor can boom the shit out of the ball. That is not without question. But we do not have gunners that can get to the guy fast enough. I mean, yeah, I get it's like running 60 yards in a couple seconds, but we need dudes that can get over there, and as of now we do not have guys that can get over there, and that results in 10, 15, 20 yard, sometimes even 40-yard returns that just completely nullifies how good our punter is. Now maybe we should emphasize more on the coffin corners, shit that's on the sideline, but that's always a risky game to play. And also when you're punting at, from the 30-yard line or something, you just got to boom the shit out of it. It's a much different game when you're punting in like the 45 or something. So yeah, but my real my real question, not necessarily for this season, but more of thinking into 2027 and beyond, is Santos going to be able to hold up? Because we've always known that Santos' biggest nemesis is not being able to kick far. And it definitely has shown when he missed the 50-yarder in the first one. He made 2 very similar kicks. The next time made all of his other extra points. But he was not... all of his kicks pulled left, and that's not necessarily what you want from a kicker. You want a kicker that can do it really anyway. Yeah, I don't know. It's a question that I have, not now, because it would be stupid to scramble for it unless he gets injured or something. But thinking like in 2027, 2028. I don't know when his contract expires. I'm pretty sure it's not this year, but it could be after next season or the season after that. We're gonna have to make a pretty big decision on whether we want to go back rolling the dice on kickers again, because while he is pretty good, it's the fact that his range is just not... it's not up to what you would want as a mainstay NFL kicker these days, because now there are kickers that can boot 60-yarders without worry, and we are currently stuck with Santos, who is fine from anything below 50, and but outside of that, he's very hit and miss. Um, yeah, that we just we'll need to answer some questions, not now, but in the off season. We need to like run through the numbers and just see how he is, how his projected future statistics are going to be, because we do not want a situation where we are in the middle of the season and he is missing like almost every kick, gimme or not, and you just have to cut him loose and roll the dice on a kicker. You would rather do that in the off season where you can actually scout guys for more than a day, tryouts. Especially, given that some of these kickers are coming from the UFL, and some of those kickers are really damn good. Brandon Aubrey is such case. So you want an off season to scout that if you want yourself a new kicker, a reliable kicker, instead of doing it in the off season. Because I don't want to be in the middle of the 2027 season and having to hear about my team, the Bears, go through a shit ton of kickers. I know Santos could potentially have a long term outlook, so I'm not necessarily panicked about it as of now, but it is fair to bring up concerns about the kicking, and you know it's just something to look for in the off season. There's a good amount of guys that are hired for figuring out what the next off season, what they got to do, and I hope that they are at least looking into the metrics of Santos and seeing if they want to keep him or not. I trust them to make the decision. I just hope that they do make the correct decision and it does not blow back in their face. Because if it does, that's rough. That would be rough, especially since we'd have to go through kicker roulette again. And I remember those days, and those days were not fun. So take that what you will. But otherwise, I am excited for the upcoming season. It's been a long while since I've been excited about a Bears season, but what this preseason game has showed me is that the ability for us to generate offense at every level, that's a good thing. That is never a bad thing. That is always a good thing. Especially when we're probably gonna have to score about 40 to 50 a game. With this defense that's here, so that's always nice. I mean, at least we held the Browns to only 10. That's that's about the only positive I can say about the defense. They were able to actually generate turnovers on pretty gimme shots on turnovers, but yeah, I'm excited. I guess. I don't really know what else to do other than just we'll see you next week, I guess. I'll go over some. I'll probably talk about some more major stuff. Roster wise, whenever they release the roster thing in 3 weeks. But for now, that'll be it for me. So I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.